If you love cozy fantasy, dark romance, and some murdery shenanigans, or even aliens with a soft side, then you're in the right place. Today we're going to be talking about June 2025 book releases, and let me just say that this month is absolutely stacked. There are so many amazing books coming out in June that I had such a hard time narrowing this down, but I managed to pull together 11 books that I am seriously hyped about and one that I've already read and I really loved it. So let's just jump right in. The first book that I have is a contemporary romance, and I've been saying that I am really into all things boats and kind of water romances. So that's what this one is all about. It's probably going to be one of the first things I pick up, and it's Never Been Shipped by Alicia Thompson. I feel like it's also really timely because if you're on TikTok, you probably have seen the whole Sailing with Phoenix situation, which I was following along through the whole saga. So boats and sailing and all things related to that seem to be really in right now. So Never Been Shipped is giving exactly that. Well, not the sailing solo part, but you get my point. So this one is about Micah, who is a former teen musician whose band kind of completely imploded, and now they are reuniting for one last cruise performance. But here's the kicker. Her best friend John, who she never quite got over, is also on board. So this is a friends to lovers, second chances, a cruise ship setting that pretty much guarantees its forced proximity because you have nowhere else to run to, and you know that there's going to be a lot of unresolved tension between them packed in those 5 days at sea. Alicia Thompson is an author that we love here at Under the Covers, and it's got a bit of mix of emotion and humor, so this one is definitely high on my list. Like I said, one that I'm probably going to be picking up early in the month of June. The next is probably one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and it's Caught Up by Navessa Allen. If you've read Lights Out, you already know that Navessa Allen doesn't hold back. I personally really enjoyed reading Lights Out. I think it's a great entry point to dark romance, and I cannot wait to see what she does with this one. I feel like there's also a lot of pressure when a book is so successful to follow it up, so I'm sure that there's going to be people that absolutely love it, and then there's already going to be people that it will never live up to the expectation. However, I'm just really excited to go into it, and we're talking voyeurism, masked stalkers, and some morally gray men who fall hard and fast, and a heroine who's a little bit chaotic. And this one is a second chance romance between Junior, the broody son of a crime family, and Lauren, who is very much not the innocent girl that he remembers. So he's been watching her from afar. Yes, stalker vibes. And when they reconnect at a play club, then things get spicy really fast. So beneath all of the kink and the obsession, there's a deeper emotional arc that Navessa always nails in her books, and I really love how bold and unfiltered her storytelling is. If you haven't explored also some of her earlier books, she does really dive into those emotions between the couple. So I already know that I'm going to just binge through the second book as soon as it hits. The next one is another contemporary romance, and you know, I'm feeling the contemporary vibes right now. Don't come for me. So this one is Righting Mr. Wrong by Kelley Armstrong. Now I feel like Kelley Armstrong is such an underrated author. I don't see people talking about her enough, and she writes in so many different genres. Now last year I picked up what I think is her contemporary romance debut, and I was so surprised at how funny and just heartfelt and just so good that it was. I binged through that book in probably like 4 hours, and this next one sounds right up my alley. I know I'm gonna gobble it up. It follows Gemma, who is a debut romance author whose hot-headed Highlander hero is definitely based on her high school crush, and that high school crush is now a pro hockey player named Mason. So she thinks that she's in the clear until she's ambushed on live TV with a surprise reunion. Mason figures it out real quick, and from there they have this fake relationship to boost her book buzz and his public image. Of course, the lines start to blur from there. It's a very like viral fame kind of book with second chances and author and hero kind of tension and some fake dating that turns real. So I am definitely here for all of that chaos, and actually I do have a list on the blog with like viral romances, or where the romances started off from going viral. So if you want to check that out, I will leave the link down below for that. Now from contemporary romances, we're moving into some mystery, and this is The Ex-Girlfriend Murder Club by Gloria Chao. Now tell me if this one doesn't sound like an instant favorite. You have 3 women who discover that they've all been dating the same guy. Classic jerk. And when they show up to confront him, they find that he's already dead in a closet at a his own house, and naturally they are the prime suspect. Gloria Chao usually writes YA, so I'm super curious to see how she leans into this murder mystery space. It sounds like a mix of fast-paced suspense with found family vibes and some comedic chaos, which I am all here for. I am really enjoying the murdery, humorous stories right now, whether they have romance or not. The comps for this, they're saying Dial A for Aunties meets Finley Donovan with a bit of John Tucker Must Die thrown in. So honestly, that alone, plus I mean the fun title, is what does it for me. It's straight to the top of my TBR. I cannot wait to read it. The next is a historical, and it's Look Before You Leap by Virginia Heath. Now this is the second book in the Miss Prentice's Protégés series, and we did review the first book. Suzanne loved it last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I can't remember when that came out, but I think it was last year. Anyway, that is definitely a historical rom-com that you need to add to your TBR if you didn't read it yet, but this second one is perfect if you love a grumpy sunshine dynamic. I've been definitely in the mood for more historical rom-coms, so I am super excited to read this one myself, and it's about Lottie, a lady's companion who grew up surrounded by men and never quite mastered the art of being ladylike. And Guy, our hero, is a brooding viscount who promised his mother grandkids by his 30th birthday, and now he finds himself stuck hosting a house party full of eligible women, except that he only has eyes for Lottie, who is supposed to be invisible at this event. The banter, the tension, the forced respectability politics, it just sounds like so much fun, and I'm always up for a house party kind of historical romance, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. Now this next one, I'm gonna be honest, I do love the author and I am interested in the premise, but I am totally picking this because of the cover, because as soon as I saw this book pop up on my NetGalley, I had to grab it instantly. And that is I Think I'm in Love with an Alien by Anne Aguirre. I know, how can you resist that cover? Am I right? I'm right. So also, again, let's not discount, Anne Aguirre is an amazing author. She writes the hell out of a sci-fi and sci-fi romance, so I definitely have lots of high hopes for this one. It sounds like so much fun. We have Tamzir, who is an alien stranded on Earth and in trying to stay hidden while his gear breaks down. Jeanette, on the other hand, is a nerdy alien-obsessed fangirl who's finally attending SpaceCon with online friends that she has never met. So when their worlds collide, it's all cosplay and awkward flirting and some star-crossed chaos. So it's got cinnamon roll alien meets adorable human heroine, and I love a weird and heartfelt rom-com. Plus it's got all the cosplay vibes. This one just feels like it was made for me, and I cannot wait to read it. And from something very quirky, we're gonna go to something a bit more steamy, and that is Release Me by K.A. Tucker. So this is actually erotic romance, and I have not read the original series. This is actually a spin-off of the Wolf Hotel series. Have not read it. I'm gonna go into this one. Wish me luck that I'm not missing something, but I have not read K.A. Tucker in quite some time, and I especially have not read any of her erotic romances that she's been releasing for the past few years. So I definitely need to rectify that, so I'm definitely going to be reading this one. This book kicks off a new series, like I said, that is set at the Wolf Hotel in Mermaid Beach. So we have Ronan, our broody director of facilities, who is trying to stay out of trouble, and Sloane, she's basically trouble in human form. She's trying to ruin the hotel, and he's supposed to keep it running. Of course, there's insane chemistry between them and all the forbidden tension that you would want. And I know that as soon as I pick this series up, I'm probably going to be obsessed because K. Tucker is such an amazing author. And honestly, I haven't read an erotic romance in this style in so long that it's just time for me to do that. The next one I've already read and I can recommend. I really enjoyed it. It's Bargains with Benefits by Gillian Witt. This one is such a cute, cozy romantasy. I'm gonna say loose romantasy. The romance is central to the plot, but don't go into this one expecting anything steamy, but it's perfect if you like Fae Flings and Corset Strings series by Cassandra Odette. It gives that same vibe, like fantasy Hallmark movie with just a little bit of spice sprinkled in. This one is about Luna, who is a half-fae innkeeper, and she's trying to save her crumbling business, and Vincent is a snobby fae journalist who somehow becomes her reluctant partner in this whole mess. It's opposites attract, it's got fae politics, some magical locked room, and some romance and steam. theme with a bit of mystery just to keep it fun. I actually just stumbled across this one and picked it up on a whim, mostly again because of the cover, and it was just a great decision because I have really been enjoying this kind of lighthearted, fun, cute, adorable, cozy fantasy romances without too much spice, so I definitely enjoyed it. Now, if you have read Cassandra Odette, I would say that that has more spice than this one in comparison. You can gauge by that, but I'm definitely excited to explore more in this series, and I can't wait for the next release. The next one is the Rushworth family plot by Claudia Gray. This is basically Claudia Gray's Jane Austen murder mystery series, and it blends the classic characters solving very un-Austen crimes. So this time we are with Juliet and Jonathan as they are caught up in London society drama with fake engagements and, you guessed it, a murder. It's very witty, cozy, full of layered characters and smart twists. If you are a fan of Austen retellings with a little bit of an edge, then this whole series is definitely a treat, and I can't wait to read this one. And then we're getting into my thrillers. So these are both going to be more of the popcorn thriller types. We're starting off with a domestic thriller, and it's Whispers of the Lake by Shonora Williams. So this one is a domestic thriller meets lake house horror. It follows Rose, who is a reporter. Her marriage is falling apart just as her ex-best friend goes missing while reviewing a cottage in a small North Carolina town. The setup already feels very claustrophobic in the best way, so everyone is lying, the town is very quiet, and there is clearly something dangerous that's hiding beneath the surface. So if you love a good psychological thriller that explores messy female relationships and friendships, this one sounds like it's going to be really tense and twisty and emotionally messy. It's going to be exactly what I need. Definitely one that you want to read with your lights on, and I cannot recommend enough Shonora Williams thrillers, so definitely pick this one up. And if you haven't read her thrillers, pick up any of her thrillers. They're really, really good. And my last one for this list is A Happy Marriage by A.R. Torre. Now, I have not read A.R. Torre in a while, so it is time to dive back in. If you like Frida McFadden, if you like Verity by Colleen Hoover, you definitely want to be reading A.R. Torre. So this one has that psychological domestic thriller vibe, kind of like the popcorn thrillers. And A.R. Torre always brings all the dark secrets and the twists. So this one is about a homicide detective and a psychiatrist who are very much in love, or so they think, right? So they are also hiding some pretty big things from each other, like literal dead bodies. So their marriage starts to unravel when a missing woman is tied to one of Dina's cases and ends up at Joe's hospital. He won't talk because of patient confidentiality, and suddenly everything that they have built together starts to crack. So I am obsessed with stories where there is a marriage and that itself becomes a puzzle to solve. So this one has that very behind closed doors energy. It sounds so addictive, and I just cannot wait to dive into it. And again, I cannot recommend her thrillers enough, so definitely pick up any of her books if you haven't yet. And those are the 11 most anticipated June reads. Honestly, this was so hard. This list could have been even longer. There are some amazing and incredible books that are coming out right now, so no matter what you're into, there's tons to look forward to. If you want to stay more up to date with all of the books that are releasing soon, definitely consider checking out our book vault, which is our book database where we update you guys with all of the book releases across all of the genres and subgenres that we cover here at Under the Covers. You can sort it by month, by subgenre, by genre, by date, and even by tropes and character types and all of these things as tags. So definitely lots of goodies there for you guys to always find the perfect read for your mood and not miss a new release. That is a feature for our paid Substack members, so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. I will leave a link down below for more information on that. But for now, let me know in the comments what June releases you're most excited for and you cannot wait to read. Have you added any of these to your TBR? Did I miss anything major? So leave me a comment down below, slide in my DMs, whatever, and let's keep the conversation going. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos from us, and subscribe for free to our Substack so you don't miss any content that we post across all of our platforms. But for today, that is all I have for you guys. If you want to keep exploring more new releases, I have a whole playlist of new releases that you can check out so you can see all of the latest books that have been coming out recently. Like I said, there's been some amazing books releasing, and you'll definitely want to add them all to your TBR. So go ahead and check that out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!